Welcome to my very first long-form YouTube art video. In this video I am painting over, I painted a piece of a city landscape doing like a sunset, sunrise type of scene with a warmer color palettes that include pinks, yellow and purple. I think this painting has my favorite color palette of all paintings I have done so far, and I'm going to try and use this color palette in the future because I really enjoy it and it might be practical for character designs as well. I painted this scene from my imagination. It probably wasn't a good idea because it's very important to use references, especially for landscapes and poses, but for some reason I keep using stuff from my imagination to draw stuff, even though I know it'll be easier and better for me to use references to paint stuff. I'm gonna try and break off that habit. If you have any tips on how to break off habits, I would really appreciate if you shared those with me in the comments, or you can just leave it alone if you want to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But back on the painting, what I really enjoyed most about doing this new painting is this new technique I used, where usually I would just randomly pick which part of the painting I would paint first, but this time I decided to paint the back of it first and then the front at the end. That's what I learned from another YouTubers, and it's really helped me out with this painting because now it's less intimidating. Do the bigger pieces that need more detail and not worry about mistakes. Like if I painted the buildings first, I wouldn't have to worry about making mistakes when painting the sky and putting the paint over the buildings and such, and so it's easier to cover up mistakes that way, and also it's really enjoyable to do. Talking about watercolors, one of my favorite paintings that I did back in the day was a Digimon Girls Game fan art piece where I painted Gamamon and its evolution. However, in that painting I did a very huge mistake, in which I thought I could use white paint to paint in Gamamon, which is the white Digimon for those who don't know. And well, if you know about watercolors, you will know that you can't use white paint to color in white characters or white scenery at all because of its transparency, and white paint is usually used to mix colors with instead of painting it on its own. Same for black, it's too dark and it's really hard to mix in lighter shades on it, and I made those huge mistakes on one of my very first pieces, but I will still call it one of my favorite pieces because I learned a lot from it, and it definitely set out as the beginning of my watercolor journey. I'm really happy to have this memory of it, so great. What's more, since then I decided to put in the white background of the paper as highlights and stuff for white areas, even for clouds, which I also used for this painting. And this time and this painting and others, I was able to avoid the mistake of having to paint the white character or white scene with white paint and just use the white background for it. I kind of stopped doing underpainting and staining the paper because of that limitation with watercolors, but I might do underpaintings again with canvases because now I have better quality wash, and I might see how that technique would work for my art overall and see if it actually improves it or sets me back as an artist. And generally about painting, I have to be honest, I'm not really a traditional painter, if you know what I mean. By that I mean is I usually use mixed media and don't just completely rely on one media at a time. For example, in this piece later on you will see me use colored pencils to add in a bit of more value to the piece and detail instead of using watercolors to do it because that's just easier for me. And I know a lot of professional watercolorists use only watercolor paint to paint in the details, but I'm not that experienced enough to do it, which is a shame because I love detailed watercolor pieces, but I'm not sure if mixed media pieces will be enough for me to be satisfied with. But for now, I am happy with how my pieces are looking, so I guess that's something. Now, more about on this channel. If you followed me before, I care around the two subscribers that listen me on this channel, you probably know that I earlier posted some animatics of mine, usually using TikTok or Vine audios for them, but as much as I enjoy making animatics and such, they take a lot of time, and I have a busy college life, and I won't be able to make them as much as I want to. Plus, inking them is very hard and unenjoyable for me, so I might do these traditional pieces with no inking and instead as my go-to YouTube videos. So I'm going to do plenty of paint with me in the future if I get enough following here. Plus, I also think I'm gonna share the speed paints of my traditional and digital art, where I just ramble on about like what I'm currently drawing and why I'm drawing it, and some ideas about the current drawing I have, and maybe some stuff that I experienced in my life and about that. One of my favorite YouTubers is ABD Illustrates, and he makes a series called Concept Corner where he shares ideas for characters and comics and character designs and rambles about what the characters are like, what the story is about the magic system. I plan to do something similar to that as well. I'm not sure how I should call this series, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do to it's same like where I share a screenplay and put a voiceover over it. For example, I have a comic project in the future called New World, New Me, which is like a slice of life fantasy romance story about a girl who can enter a virtual world like a penguin or wizard 101 and there finds an NPC who can possess her body and make her more popular among other players and people her age. And that's the basic time, but I'm planning to get more into detail of the story and the characters in a future video if anyone is interested in that. That project is not my priority because I already have a web novel I'm working on, which if you're interested to hear about that, I might do a draw and ramble type of video about it too if anyone is interested. But yeah, that's pretty much it of what I'm planning to do in the future. I was thinking of doing tutorials as well, but I don't think I'm experienced enough artist to share tutorials because as much as I enjoy teaching people stuff about art and talking about art, I don't think I have enough knowledge about certain things like anatomy background to, well, pardon my verb, to paint and show how I'm doing stuff, because the way I'm doing it isn't really like the traditional way of doing stuff, because I was originally self-taught artist before I went to college, and the skills I have may not be super helpful for other artists. And that's pretty much why I doubt I'll do tutorials because of that. What I will probably is try out new art supplies and different ways of using art supplies. Like I might make a video where I plan out to only using alcohol markers or oil pastels, or I might try new supplies like some masking fluid I bought earlier this day or the day I edited this video, because I'm not sure when this will be shared by the time I finished editing it. But anyways, I'm gonna try to do different types of videos and see how I'll grow my audience both for my channel and for my other websites as well. Regarding video schedule, I probably won't be able to focus on YouTube as much as I want to. I'll probably post like once a month or every 2 weeks a video where I do a paint with me and talk over it with a voiceover, or I might change things up a bit depending on how good my videos turn out to be. Again, this will not be my main focus. I'm in college and currently it's exam seasons and test season, and soon I'll have to finish my semester and do all of that end of the semester things, and as you can see, that's a lot of things to do, and I'm not sure if I can prioritize YouTube and all of that time. I might prioritize it after I finish college and stuff like that. I definitely will not drop out, because of personal reasons, but yeah, I hope you understand my limited schedule because of that. I might share some art videos from TikTok and Instagram as YouTube shorts, or make those YouTube shorts into longer videos where I use the normal, how do I say this, filming size camera thing. I'm not sure how it's called, to properly film videos of like sketchbook tours and my thoughts on certain art supplies and stuff, so you don't get bored too much on my channel without napping, but I'll still see about that. But yeah, back to this piece. I would still call this one of my favorite watercolor pieces. For those who don't know, I usually paint stuff on A5 paper and A4 paper, which I cut into two pieces so it can be A5 paper. The reason I don't paint on A4 paper is because I have this a bit of a worry where I fear that I'm gonna use up all of my art supplies too fast, too soon if I work on bigger pieces, like bigger canvases and bigger paper. That's why I tend to work on smaller pieces and smaller paper, which not only helps me with turn off my worry of spending my art supplies too much, it also helps my art process be quicker and doing it all in one session, because if I do an art piece for multiple sessions, I can easily forget to do it and it will take me weeks to finish it. That's especially a problem with my digital art because I don't have my tablet constantly out in the open on my table. I have it stuck still in the box in which I ordered with. It is similar to my watercolor patterns. They're both still in the boxes in which I bought them into, so I don't lose them, but it's also proven to me to be unpractical because then I will not be able to simply pick up the art supply or drawing tablet and draw as much as I want, because there's like several processes of which I need to do to start up the project, and then I feel like it's not worth it to go through all of the small steps. Even though it might not seem a lot to you, it's a lot to me, and I hope you understand that. One of my favorite things I see in YouTubers, especially newer ones, is seeing their confidence grow in their videos and their tone as time goes on. So one of my plans for the YouTube channel is to become more confident both in my voiceover and my editing skills as time goes on, which is one of the main reasons I started this channel, so I can learn new skills both about communicating better out loud and well, editing too, because editing has proven to me a lot of fun, even though audio editing is less fun compared to usual video editing. But yeah, now I'm gonna stay silent and let you all watch how I do this piece, and see you later. that's it. I hope you liked this piece and how I painted. If there's anything else you want to ask or have suggestions on what I should make for my art videos, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching and goodbye.